We're following breaking news right now out of New York City, where 3 U.S. Marshals are being treated for gunshot wounds after a shootout early this morning. They were trying to arrest a man suspected of shooting a Massachusetts state trooper. The suspect is in critical condition, and the Marshals are in stable condition. The trooper was shot during a traffic stop. The bullet went through his hand and hit his bulletproof vest. Also breaking overnight, smoke blanketed much of the city of Albert Lea, Minnesota, after a massive inferno at an abandoned warehouse. Many city streets were blocked off, and at least one family was evacuated from their home. People say they could see flames climbing above the homes and melting siding. There are no reports of injuries. It's too early to say what caused the fire. Protesters are expected to gather today on the NDSU campus. It's in response to a racist group Snapchat involving students and now multiple incidents of hate speech. The Valley Today's Courtney Lockie joins us live this morning from the NDSU campus with more on what is happening. Good morning, Courtney.
Good morning, Lisa. Organizers are actually planning 2 separate protests in response to these incidents. Now, the first one is going to kick off here today at 2 o'clock outside of NDSU's Memorial Union. The second one tomorrow at the same time outside of School President Dean Bruciani's house. Now, the racist group Snapchat and the school's response are what's fueling these protests. It was early this week that word about the group chat spread like wildfire. But the school tells us it was brought to their attention about a month ago. They say the students involved were punished and some apologized publicly. Now, President Bruciani says the school is investigating at least 2 more cases involving potential hate speech on campus. He says the school will be taking action. The goal behind the protest is to make sure of that.
We hope to educate the public that things like the Snapchat group is not okay, and that they should not get away with things like that.
And we're still waiting to learn more on the details regarding the new reports of the hate speech. Lisa?
Courtney Lockie reporting live from NDSU. And of course, make sure you have that VNL News app handy for updates on this developing story throughout the day. Wild animals will have a safe way to cross a new highway in southern Minnesota. The Minnesota Department of Transportation is installing an animal crossing under Highway 14 in Dodge County in order to cut down on deer car crashes. It's a culvert, you see it right here, 10 feet tall, 9 feet wide, and 200 feet long. It runs under the road. The DNR worked with MnDOT to find places where deer are known to consistently cross. 7 minutes before 7, let's get a check now of that Friday morning forecast with meteorologist Lisa Green.
Well, good morning. It is a beautiful start to the day today. We've got that clear sky giving us a nice view of the sunrise happening here this morning, and we'll get to enjoy that sun for the day throughout the valley. Perhaps some areas getting some partly cloudy skies at times, and there is the potential for some flurry activity later on up north. But right now, beautiful temperatures are below freezing. We're in the teens and 20s. Fargo's at 21, Grand Forks at 22, and just quiet here for that morning drive and that wait out at the bus stop. Here's a look at your radar and satellite map. It's again on the quieter side. There are a couple of clouds streaming through, but overall more on the clearer side. And again, those temperatures in the teens and 20s this morning. So here's a look at your bus stop forecast. We'll be into the 20s to start. So yes, we'll be below freezing. The kids will want to wear their winter coats. It's going to feel pretty good this afternoon, though. Maybe not quite as warm as yesterday's temperatures, but still we're talking some 30s to some low 40s, most likely getting into the 40-degree range in southeastern North Dakota, and in Fargo we're looking at a high of 42. So beautiful Friday, beautiful way to round out the week. This is for the southern end of the valley. Northern end, you're going to see more cloud cover developing by the time we get into the 3 o'clock hour. And beyond that, along the Canadian border, that's where we could have some of those flakes impact you into the nighttime hours tonight. And by that, I mean flurries to a very isolated light snow shower that won't last long, but it's been so quiet lately, it's kind of a big deal to be talking about it. Heading into the weekend, some great weather coming up. We're talking some upper 30s to some low 40s Saturday and into Sunday. Might be slightly breezier on Saturday with some gusts up to about 20 miles per hour, but that's not too bad for the valley. And on Sunday, we're looking at more sunshine and pleasant conditions. So a great weekend ahead after what's been a beautiful week this week, we really are starting December on a great note.
I'm loving it, like an early Christmas present. Thank you, Lisa. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum has unveiled a $15 billion budget that bumps state spending by 2%, but does not raise taxes on sales or income. The plan includes a $1.25 billion bonding package, largely aimed at funding statewide infrastructure projects. The legislature will take up the governor's proposal in its next session, which starts January 5th. The Republican governor's budget is the second biggest proposed by a governor in state history. Jack Dalrymple proposed a $15.7 billion budget in 2015. That was eventually whittled down by lawmakers to $14.2 billion. Minnesota officials are urging people who have fallen behind on their rent, mortgage, or utility payments amid the coronavirus pandemic to apply for state aid before a looming Monday night deadline. The COVID-19 Housing Assistance Program has already taken more than 28,000 applications for more than $67 million in aid. There was about $30 million left. People in Minnesota seeking aid should apply online at 211unitedway.org by 11:59 p.m. on Monday. The final 2020 monthly employment report will be released this morning. Economists expect an estimated 440,000 jobs were added in November, compared to October, when there were 638,000 jobs added. The drop in jobs is possibly showing the effect of new stay-at-home orders and curfews due to the COVID-19 pandemic in the country. CBS News has learned that President Donald Trump had a tense meeting with Attorney General Bill Barr this week when Barr was seen at the White House for more than 2 hours. The president is said to be angry that Barr publicly contradicted his unsupported claims of election fraud. Barr said that the Justice Department has seen no evidence that could overturn the election. With less than 50 days until Inauguration Day, President Trump has yet to concede defeat. A 16-year-old girl with Down syndrome is safe at home this morning after turning up at a Fargo hotel. It's a story we first told you about yesterday morning here on the Valley Today. Fargo police say the girl is nonverbal and was found at the Roadway Inn on University Drive right around 4 in the morning. Valley News Live talked with the hotel employee who found her.
I truly believe, it's just part of my job to make sure, when something's maybe amiss, that I try to figure out how to make somebody safe or happy.
Police aren't sure how long the girl was out or how she ended up at the hotel. They tell us their Crimes Against Children unit is following up with both the girl's family and social services. North Dakota is reporting 978 new cases of COVID-19 and 11 new deaths, bringing the death toll in the state to 977. Of the new cases, 230 of them are in Cass County. In Minnesota, there are more than 6,100 new cases and 92 new deaths. That's the second highest number of deaths the state has had in a single day. The overall death toll is 3,784. You can see the full list of numbers anytime on our VNL News app. It's been a hot topic at the Capitol all week, and now all North Dakota state lawmakers are required to wear a face mask while in the chambers or in a committee. The lawmakers can lower or remove the mask while speaking or when there is social distancing. Most committee rooms are set up to achieve social distancing, but the main chambers are not. Earlier this week, in a heated discussion, one lawmaker made the statement that people who died from COVID would want lawmakers to have the freedom to choose whether or not to wear a mask. The spirit of the holidays is alive in downtown Fargo. I just love this tree. The downtown Fargo Christmas tree is lit up now for the season, and a new skating rink was also unveiled at Broadway Square. Daily public skating begins December 10th at 4 in the afternoon. 10 skaters wearing masks will be allowed on the ice at a time. Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Today's question: a third of us say we will be doing this by noon on Christmas Day. What is it? The answer: have your first alcoholic drink of the day. If it's a mimosa, I think that's okay. It's Christmas. The Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but remember, the Valley Today rolls on. Join us right now for more live up-to-the-minute news and weather on the Fargo CW.